Hey everybody, let's talk today about what Jesus says was the most important commandment. He said it was two things. And let's back our way into that. I want to ask you how your heart is doing. How is your heart? With all of the stress and all of the uncertainty of the future, with a pandemic and with the schools and if you have kids and economics and financial stuff, and then there was a hurricane and maybe you're still repairing like we are, and what can happen is our hearts, because our hearts are tender, that when we keep getting hit and hit and hit, we can get really hard, really kind of just to defend ourselves. And the goal that God has, one of the goals for us each day, is to just begin to open up every day, to look at where our hearts have gotten hard and to open up to God's love, to open up to other people, to be vulnerable, to have soft hearts that are shaped by our Master's hands. And one of the ways I want to challenge us, I want to challenge you as a believer, right? Me as a believer, is the witness of a soft heart that we set out during this election cycle. One of the most challenging places to live out our faith right now is in politics, because everything in our society wants to separate us apart and have us demonize the other, whoever that is, okay? And from being a pastor in churches, all the churches I've pastored are not one thing. Like, it's not full of Republicans, it's not full of Democrats, it's not full of libertarians. Like, everybody's like, yay, we all agree that this is the way to go. It's always a big tent. You are always going to be in a community with people who love God, who read their Bible, and come to different political conclusions. And it's hard. So I'd encourage you again and again to think one of the ways we witness to our faith is that we love each other. Jesus says there were two main commandments. Love God with all you are, love your neighbor as yourself. And when he defined neighbor, they were like, wait, who is that? Is it the people who vote like me, or raise their kids like me, or grew up in the same town as me, or think like me? Jesus said, no. It is the radically opposite side. It is the Samaritan. That's who you love. And that's, friends, the great chance that we have in a society that's increasingly polarized, right? To be like, hey, I have some strongly held beliefs, right? Nothing's going to change the way I vote, or maybe I'm in the middle and I don't know yet, right? Not change that, but change your interaction with the other people, whoever those are, and let it just be coated in love, because that's who we are as Christians. We are people who love the Samaritans. We are people who form communities where everyone isn't exactly the same, but we have the same Savior. And that love is greater than anything that would divide us. Let it be greater. Your love of God and your love of other people, let it be greater than any barrier the world says should separate you. Let love coat and inform everything you do. And we will be a powerful witness, no matter how we're voting, of our faith this election cycle.